her baby was born blue and she had these concerns. Want to know what I'm getting at here? Stay with me as I share with you this very important information. Hello, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm a childbirth, injury, and medical malpractice attorney practicing law here in the state of Maryland. And I would like to talk with you today about a mother who shared her concerns about her child's situation. Now, I want to go back and I want to give you a little bit of foundation to help you understand what these concerns were and why she had these particular concerns. All right, we have a mother here who was not a high-risk pregnancy, did everything that she was supposed to do during the pregnancy, all of her prenatal visits. I mean, everything was pretty much going well. And when that day came, went to the hospital, and when the water broke, there was heavy meconium. And I want to take a quick side note here, because if you're not familiar with meconium, essentially what that is it is stool. And when it is present, it gives doctors, it gives them a heads up that, we got to be really careful here. It's not necessarily just on its own proof that the child is in distress already. The medical literature doesn't say that, but what it does suggest is that when meconium is present, that doctors, they need to really pay attention to what's going on. All right, so back to what happened in this situation. So the meconium was present, and the doctors and the nurses, they saw it and they documented it, and everything was going okay according to mother. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Now, she did say that they were moving her to her side a lot and she had to have a lot of oxygen, and she was pushing a lot and she was very tired from pushing. And she even noted that she doesn't really remember getting too much of a break during her, during the contractions and the pushing. All right, so when the baby got here, the baby was blue, and the family was able to see this. I mean, the baby was really blue, and the baby was not crying. The baby wasn't really moving at all after birth, and had to go to the NICU, and the baby eventually was even suffering seizures. So all of this was going on with this family. And what really began to cause mom some concern is that as the baby was growing and getting older and everything, the baby was not meeting certain neonatal milestones. And then the family was given a diagnosis of cerebral palsy. In other words, that the baby had a brain injury and was dealing with the challenges that go along with a cerebral palsy diagnosis. And the mother had these two critical concerns, with the first being, could this have happened during birth? I mean, was this something that was caused by the hospitals and the doctors and the nurses? And number two, if it was, how does an attorney go about proving that, or how does she prove that? And I'm going to kind of merge the answers to help give you an understanding of this process. To be able to prove these types of cases, when we're talking about a childbirth injury or possible medical malpractice case in Maryland, you have to use experts. Medical experts are used, and these experts will review the mother's records, will review the baby's records, will look at the fetal heart monitor and the strips. And in this particular case, when we looked at the strips, what we found is that the baby's heart rate was really high for a considerable amount of time. We had issues dealing with tachycardia. We had minimal variability. Remember, guys, when I talked about earlier, there was already the presence of heavy meconium. So when our experts took a look at everything, looked at the records, looked at the strips and everything, they were able to conclude that in their medical opinion that there were issues here, that the doctors did deviate from good and acceptable medical care in this situation. So why did I take the time today to talk with you about this? Because if you are watching this video right now, more than likely your child has suffered a brain injury. Maybe you have gotten a cerebral palsy diagnosis for your child, and you're thinking back and you remember you saying, you know what, my child was blue when my child was born, or that when my baby came out, my baby had to go to the NICU, and my baby could not breathe on their own. Maybe all of these things are now coming back to you, and now you have questions. You have these concerns just like the mother that I'm talking about in this video. If you have concerns like this is what I invite you to do. And remember, it costs you absolutely nothing to take this next action. And what is that action? To pick up the phone and give me a call. I can be reached at 301-850-4832, or if you prefer, you can send me an email to medicalinjury@bostonlawllc.com. I answer Maryland childbirth, injury, and medical malpractice and wrongful death questions just like yours all the time, and I'll be happy to take some time and listen to your story. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth, injury, and medical malpractice attorneys here at Boston Law Group LLC, and we will see you next time. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.